Welcome to VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards, a daily podcast bringing you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2023 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Thursday, April 20th, with Game 2 of the first-round series between the Golden Knights and Winnipeg Jets set for tonight at 7 p.m. from the Fortress. Vegas is looking to rebound from their Game 1 loss on Tuesday and even up the series, and to do so, they'll have to lean on their veterans who have been here before. Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless joins us on today's episode, and he caught up with one of those veterans yesterday in defenseman Alex Pietrangelo.
What was the drive home for you like last night?
We're not too bad. Like, I've been down this road. I played a lot of playoff games, and I think you take a few minutes after the game, right? You kind of assess what you thought you need to do better, well, individually and as a group, and then I feel like you're better off just kind of letting it sit for the night, and then come back in the morning. And if I felt the same way, then that's something that you got to work on. So, I'm not a big believer, especially at this time of the year, taking it home and overthinking it. We know we didn't do good enough. We reiterated that message this morning. So I think what we felt last night was the same message we had this morning.
VGK, the thoughts of wisdom that he is, he said to me, some days you come and you think you're just going to be fantastic, and you're not, and there is no explanation for it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I thought we prepared the way we needed to prepare. I thought we had a good practice the day before, and we just didn't execute like we wanted to. And a lot of times too, it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing, and you're not as sharp maybe as you need to be, or what the answer is. But I've said this all year about our group is really good at looking in the mirror and continue to stay positive, right? Especially at this time of the year. I mean, you got to keep the atmosphere up, but at the same time, take it upon yourself to know you need to be better.
The playoff journey, it can be short, it can be long.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy it, don't you? How do you balance that? Making sure you're living in the moment and enjoying the moment, and also making sure you're doing what you can to win.
Yeah, I think we're all competitive, right? You want to play against the best teams at the most important time of the year, and that's what the playoffs is. I mean, every team that's in here has earned the right to be in there, right? No one's given a playoff spot, so you're going to get a good game no matter what. And obviously, like I said, we all know last night wasn't great, but every single play, every single shift is important. It's an investment into the series, and I think we understand that. Like you said, it didn't go the way we wanted to, but I think sometimes use it as a wake-up call, and we got a really good idea of what they want to do. So it's a fun process to be a part of, because the momentum is a weird thing. So you got to make sure you can get it when you can, and there's a lot of ups and downs, not only in the regular season, but especially in the playoffs. And it's a fun challenge to kind of keep it at the same level throughout the whole thing and keep that same mindset.
How many kids came into the room this morning, and what time? And that probably slaps the perspective on you pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, no, wife let me sleep in this morning. She knows, especially in playoffs, Dad needs a little bit of rest. So I woke up right before they were going to school. They were playing hockey in the living room. So I think the kids got the playoff, atmosphere going in the house too. So my parents are here too. It's a special time of the year, right? It's such a fun, part, in terms of that. And it's a balance, right? You're trying to find the balance of preparing yourself and enjoying, people want to come. Obviously, a desirable location for people who want to come visit. But it's fun to share those moments with your family.
You come home last night and have a glass of wine with your dad or a beer and talk about something other than hockey? Or?
You know what? I set the record straight with my dad a long time ago. We don't talk about hockey too much. And that was more on me about, and when you have kids, you don't have a chance of bringing home much, right? My wife keeps me honest about that too, so, and I appreciate that. But me and my dad have a lot in common, so I think as you get older and you become friends and you develop a relationship and you talk about things that you both enjoy. So we have a lot of the same interests. So hockey usually gets put on the back burner unless he's really got something to say. Then I know he means it.
Does he know the game?
Yeah. He knows the game well. He's watched me long enough too, right? I don't think he watches quite as much as he used to. But when in my younger days, he watched probably almost every game. A little harder now with the time change than it was before.
What do you guys talk about?
Oh, everything. We got a lot of interest. I mean, he doesn't play golf, but he knows the game. We talk about that, and We have a lot of things on the side that we like to do. And the kids, right? I think I always joke now when they call me, they don't even want to talk to me. They want to talk to my kids. They just kind of skip over me. They say hi to me and then we're the kids. So it's good when, grandparents are involved. Obviously, they love being part of it. And it's a special thing when the kids get, especially at this age, and I wake up and my dad's playing goalie for, the 4 kids in the living room, right? Those are the things that you got to kind of take a step back and enjoy because they don't last forever.
Do you get into the game or?
I do sometimes. They always want me to play, so usually I just sit down and play goalie. I try not to get too active. They're still on the mini stick, so it's easy when you just sit on your butt and cover the whole net.
Do they all 4 of them play?
The girls try. The boys are a little more aggressive, so the girls get pushed out, a little bit quicker. But they all try, and it's good to get all the kids into different sports. I played all different sports growing up, so we try and get them in a little bit of everything.
Tonight's an off night. Will you watch games? Will you barbecue? Will you we go out for dinner as a family? What will you guys do?
I might have the games on in the background. My kids are starting to want to watch it. We got t-ball practice today, so get outside for a couple hours with the kids and then come home, make dinner, and do the bedtime routine, and then just relax with the wife. So not an overly complicated day for us when you got 4 kids under the age of 5. It's more of a routine than anything. But with the weather like this, we try and eat outside, spend as much time outside with the kids as we can.
This is audio, not visual, so people can't see. Every time you start to talk about your kids, you start to light up and start to smile. It's your favorite thing, isn't it, being a dad?
Yeah, I mean, I always, like I said, they're great as little kids, but even now, like that, they're starting to play sports and the girls are getting into dance and whatever it may be. They're all kind of going into their own little personalities where, especially for us, when we had, 3 at once, it took a while for them to kind of get into their own personalities, and now they're doing that. And it's a pretty special thing to see. I love sitting down, having a conversation with them, talking about their day, and I think, that they're getting older, you can have those conversations. It's pretty special.
Can you still help them with their math?
Probably better at it than I am.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
My daughter's older than yours. Your kids, but like she cracks out the math. I'm like, I tap out. If you want some help with some creative writing, then sure, Dad can help.
Yeah.
But the math,
they can draw better than me already. I just remember my nieces and nephews, when they were a little bit younger, they would bring the math home, and the formulas were different than when I was in school. So I think we're allowed to cheat, though, and pull out the iPhone and use the calculator.
Yeah, I do lots of that. Sometimes it still doesn't really work. But you want to win because you want to have your name in the Stanley Cup. You've already done that.
Yeah.
Why do you want to win now?
Well, when you're done, it's nice to say that you're a 2-time Stanley Cup champion instead of a 1 or a 3 or whatever it may be, right? That's one thing. For me, I got 3 of my kids to sit in the Stanley Cup. I want to get the next one in there, so I have all 4. And that moment after you win, with your family, but immediately after with a group of guys that you went to war with for an entire year, it's a pretty special moment. All the stuff after parties and whatever is great, but that hour and a half when you look around the room and everybody's just completely exhausted and you've spent that much time getting to that point, that's a feeling that I want to have again.
What do you expect to happen tomorrow night?
We'll be a lot better. I think you look at today, execution was a lot better. Skating was a lot better. I think, we had a good practice, but I think, we were pretty honest with ourselves this morning knowing it wasn't good enough. So I think they know we're going to be better, and we will be.
Well, a good job by Gary there of bringing out the lighter side of Alex Pietrangelo, and great to hear from Alex as always, providing perspective and remaining calm through the ebbs and the flows of the playoffs, which is something that we heard on the last episode of VGK Today from Bruce Cassidy's Game 1 pregame interview with Dan Duva, talking about how you can't get too high, you can't get too low, you just have to remain even-keeled. You play the game, you take what you can from it, you learn from it, and then you move on to the next game. So the Golden Knights looking to take what they can from their Game 1 loss and now move on and bring that to tonight's Game 2. And Alex, with a great attitude as always, recognizing that, hey, they were not good enough on Tuesday and that they need to be better tonight in Game 2, and confidently saying that they will be better. And with Game 2 coming up tonight, I want to remind you that the Vegas Golden Knights have single-game tickets to the first round of the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs still on sale. You can secure your seat in the Fortress for select home games in Round 1 or purchase a playoff strip and enjoy the same seats for every home game at a discounted rate. A limited number of tickets are still available at VegasGoldenKnights.com, so be sure to grab yours and experience Game 2 live at T-Mobile Arena tonight. Also want to remind you to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a moment of the team's quest for the Stanley Cup here on VGK Today. Tomorrow, Dan Duva joins the show to recap all of the Game 2 action. Justin Russo signing off for Episode 4 of VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards.